Alrighty. Hey y'all, welcome back to Live in the Wellness Garden. It has been quite some time. I am Andreas, your site manager here, and I'm really excited for fall semester. I hope you are. We're gonna have a lot going on. Whole new installment of Healthy Growers training and more trainings that we're gonna be adding on to that. So I guess you could say additional modules, more information to come. And that is going to be at least partially open to the public. But we're going to start with our lives again as well. And this week we are going to be talking about seed starting with soil blocks. We have this really cool new toy called a soil blocker that we're going to try out today during today's live. And I'm really excited. I've heard a lot of great things about soil blocks and their benefits. Like, for example, you get an air pruning effect when you start seeds with soil blocks, which leads to more vigorous seedlings. Same principle as a fabric pot, basically. It's pretty much zero waste. There's no plastic involved, except for reusable containers. You can use basically any soil mix that you want. It doesn't have to be necessarily a specialized seed starting mix, at least from my understanding. It's easier to make your own mixes. I think it's going to be a huge boon for us here at the Wellness Garden, this soil blocker. So we're going to give it a shot. But first, it's been a while, so we'll give a quick tour of the Wellness Garden. So check it out. It truly is a jungle here. I'm amazed by how much things have grown this summer, even in this heat. It's quite incredible. And even things that you'd normally think of as cool weather-loving crops, such as this walking stick kale, for example, are doing absolutely fantastic. We have already harvested the walking stick kale once. It was a rather large harvest. We filled up a 20-gallon tote full, or 15-gallon tote full of walking stick kale leaves, and we're looking for another harvest soon. We're probably going to actually try propagating these from cuttings and making this entire bed a walking stick kale bed, since it's doing so well here. We've got some black-eyed peas. The black-eyed peas have yielded abundantly this year. Pigeon peas, we're establishing more pigeon peas and other green manure plants around so that we can continue to cycle nutrients and not rely on store-bought fertilizers. Our other established green manure plants are doing fantastic. I mean, look at this Tithonia towering above the garden, making a huge statement right here. It is absolutely massive. And what's incredible about this plant is that all of these stems, not only does it grow this fast, we cut it back just about 3 months ago, and it's already grown like 7 feet. All of these stems right here pretty much can be made into new plants, so we can grow more of our own fertilizer. I'm not sure if we have space for any more Tithonias here in the Wellness Garden, but you know, we can certainly offer cuttings to the public at some point. But yeah, this bed has been doing fantastic. The sugarcane is gargantuan now. I'm really excited for the sugarcane harvest in the fall. We've already harvested a little bit, but the bulk of the harvesting that we do is going to be in the fall, because that's when the sugarcane is at its best. As the weather cools down, the sugars will concentrate in the tissues of these canes right here, and we'll get some really sweet stalks. So Achira doing great as always. I love this plant. We're gonna try maybe making some arrowroot powder out of the roots, because that's what you typically use it for, but the leaves are also a great tamale wrap. We love using this as a mulch plant as well. And then right here we've got our ginger. It might be getting a little bit too much shade, but ginger nonetheless. The sorrel is kind of sad right now because of the heat, but I think the little bit of shade that it is getting from these big guys right here is helping. That was the intention, you know, plant an overstory to protect the sorrel during the hot summer sun. And right here we have our turmeric. This one just kind of popped out of nowhere, because we did grow turmeric in this spot last year. Didn't do that well, but now this year it's coming back strong. More black-eyed peas down here, sort of like as an understory to fix nitrogen, build soil fertility. We've got our yerba mate right here. It has grown a lot this summer. Looking forward to having it grow some more. Let's see what else we got. And yeah, it truly is a jungle here. We have this cover crop of sorghum Sudan grass right here. We've already cut it back for mulch twice, and we're about to cut it back a third time. Absolutely fantastic plant. We've also successfully been able to grow some cool season crops during this stifling heat, believe it or not. We've got some radishes growing right now. We've been able to harvest a couple, and this is the power of agroecological design and healthy soil, folks. I mean, look at this. It is So hot out, but this soil is healthy, it's alive, it's moist. You know, we're only watering like every other day right now, and yet still, these beds are doing great. We're able to grow radishes right now in this heat, believe it or not. Some of them are bolting, but I think we'll still get a decent harvest. And check out the food forest. The comfrey has been popping off, loving the part shade that it's getting in our hot climate and in this hot weather. I wouldn't plant comfrey in full sun, but again, this is another mulch producing plant. We've been planting out the understory as well with perennial crops. Got some strawberries and chives and mint going under here. We still have our Peruvian golden berries. Probably a bit too shady for them, but that's okay. If this is not the right situation, we'll be able to take some cuttings and plant them somewhere else where they can get a little bit more sun. I assume that it would like shade because it's a cloud forest plant, but not all cloud forest plants like that much shade in our climate. You know, since, you know, I was thinking like, since this plant is used to growing at high altitudes where temperatures are cool and the weather is pretty much cloudy and foggy around, maybe a little bit of shade, but you know, it seems to not be liking the shade as much. So perhaps we should take some cuttings and move it into a sunnier situation. Anyways, yeah, here's the apple tree. First year getting apples, by the way. So excited. I wasn't even sure if this tree was going to produce since it's not a low chill variety, but lo and behold, we've got apples. So we'll see how it produces next year, because since it's not a low chill variety, we might need to graft a low chill variety onto it. And that basically just means that a low chill variety is able to properly develop buds in areas with mild winters, because typically stone fruits and pomes and such, which includes apples. Apples are a pome fruit, require a certain amount of cold temperatures to properly complete, I guess, their dormancy cycles and then enter into their vegetative and reproductive cycles when spring comes. But it looks like this apple's producing. So, and if we get a good year next year, then we won't need to do anything. But if not, we're going to probably graft some low chill varieties onto it. Pigeon peas. I've been getting this pigeon pea wall going. Looks great. We've been planting them at 1 foot spacing for ultra high density green manure production. And we're probably going to be establishing an understory of sweet potatoes next spring. Tried to do some zucchini here. They were doing fantastic until the heat came. The heat kind of did them in, unfortunately. But, you know, at least we have this extra little bit of mulch that we can use in the bed, right? I think sweet potatoes are a better bet here. And oh my gosh, the moringa. I cannot believe the moringa, y'all. It has been absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And all this growth that you're seeing from here, right here, this is growth that from the past 2 months. From the past 2 months. We cut this moringa back about 2 months ago to sticks, and it has already grown that much. Can you believe that? Moringa is an absolute rock star in our climate, especially in this hot weather. And I've been telling people, guys, you know, climate change is coming. Things are going to only get hotter from here. Grow moringa. It's a great plant to grow in a warming world because it loves heat so much. It is so resilient. It grows it's been growing faster during this heat wave. Like, this is the fastest it's grown all season. It's just, you know, such a resilient and hardy plant, so nutritious. The benefits of this plant are innumerable. So love growing moringa. You should too. You can grow it in a large pot as well if you're living in an apartment or don't have a lot of space otherwise. And this is the bed that we discussed when it came to companion planting. One of the beds, and a lot of things are starting to cycle out. This system is starting to senesce. We still have some tomatoes here, but now we're really just waiting on those sunchokes to produce, and then we're going to be doing a hard reset on here, doing a broccoli and fava bean based companion planting system with some greens as well. Okra wasn't a huge hit this year, unfortunately, but the black-eyed peas are doing good. We did harvest several Kajari melons as well, and we have a watermelon sitting on here that looks like it's just about ready, so that's exciting. And let's see what else we got. The cassava over here. I'm not 100% sure about the cassava. It seems to be doing okay. I mean, this bed has had its issues with weird disease issues that I haven't been able to address. Not sure exactly what it is, but, you know, the cassava has been doing all right. We did give it an apical pruning. That is, we pinched off the growing tip. Then, oh my gosh, check this out. Look at those bananas. Saved the best for last, y'all. I cannot believe how much these bananas have grown. Since planting them, we did fertilize them with fish and kelp once. Other than that, it's just been green manure, the stuff that we've grown on site, like the Tithonia here. Basically, got 4 Tithonias here, 5 comfreys, 2 achiras that are establishing, and then we're going to do alfalfa all along the front. So we're going to be producing lots of fertilizer to feed these figs and bananas. We did also get a crop of figs this year. I've been experimenting with a summer pruning, post-harvest pruning of figs to see how they respond, because they are normally pruned in the winter. But you know, I'm trying to see like if we get benefits from figs as a mulch-producing tree by pruning them in the summer after we harvest as well. So we'll probably talk about that more as the plants recover from the pruning. But so far, it doesn't look like they're responding with much vigor, so we'll see. Anyways, not much going on with the research plots right now. We're in the process of resetting them. So let's just get straight to the main point of this video, which is starting seeds with soil blocks. And so, what are soil blocks, you ask? I'm going to set up the camera right here. Well, soil blocks are exactly what they sound like they are. They're literally blocks of soil. And you make them with this here press. So you basically will pack your seed starting mix into this press, right? And then literally just press the plunger, press it down, then you have your blocks. And then you remove them individually once the seeds germinate. So, why soil blocks? Well, first of all, it's a great way for us to reduce our waste and consumption. We're all about reducing waste and consumption in the wellness garden, and more about relying on the gifts of Mother Earth and ecology to grow our food, because that's what promotes not just human wellness, but ecological wellness. So we're going to be reducing our plastic waste with this, which is awesome. Reducing our reliance on plastic growing trays. We got these really sturdy ones that will last us a really long time. They're super tough. So basically, we just place the soil blocks in here. We sow our seeds, and then we put them in our nursery table, where we're going to run, because we got a new nursery table specifically for hydro. So we're going to convert the old one to a soil block bed, and pretty much just run it off of tap water. Maybe even rainwater, if we're able to collect some rainwater. That would be during the winter. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, we will be adding like we'll be figuring out how to add some like fertility to the mix too, but we'll probably start by adding a little bit of liquid fertilizer to the water, as we usually do. Eventually, what I'd like to do is produce all of our own seed starting mix and use leaf mold to start our seeds. I really want to try that because we started a leaf mold bin this summer too. We'll talk about that in another video, the benefits of leaf mold, because I'm a big fan. But for now, we're going to be using our cocoa vermiculite mix with some wood chip and leaf mold mixed in. Also, Anneli is here.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, we are back. So, let's get going then. So I'm sure you guys remember the procedure from previous videos. And of course, the main difference here is going to be the fact that we're using this soil blocker. So I'll show you guys what we're going to start. And why don't you get this cocoa core going, Anneli? Let's get it soaking. Let's do it in there.
Or in the tub, okay.
Yeah. So we're going to do 1 whole tray of onions. I'd like to grow lots of onions this year. We're going to do a 1/4 tray of celery, a 1/4 tray of rapini, a 1/4 tray of cauliflower, and a 1/4 tray of moss curled parsley. So, I'm a big fan of parsley, especially. I love the moss curled variety, great in smoothies. I want to try the rapini because it's a bit faster to harvest than broccoli, and I think it has a longer harvest window, and also you can eat the leaves. Cauliflower is tough. It's a tough plant to grow, but we'll give it another shot. And of course, celery. I love growing celery. So yeah, we can get going then. So I'll show you guys what we're going to do here. So Anneli is right here breaking up this block of coconut coir. I love using coconut coir as a part of a seed starting mix. It is way more environmentally friendly than peat moss because it is a renewable resource. Peat moss is effectively not a renewable resource because it takes thousands of years to form peat moss. Oh, I forgot to show you guys. The banana is making a pup. It's an offshoot. That's going to become the next, it's going to become a new plant, essentially. We can cut them off if we want to make new banana plants, but we're going to leave it on. Anyways, yeah, so Nelly is breaking up the soil block, the block of coco coir, so that we can mix it with vermiculite, which is the other material that we use to start our seeds. And then we're going to put in some leaf mold compost. And some mycorrhizae, because we need to have mycorrhizae. Alright, so I'm going to go get the leaf mold. We'll talk a bit about that. Alright, here we are. Crawling with ants, of course. The ant has... Alright, are we back? I apologize for that. My phone overheated for some reason. Don't know why it did that when we're in the shade, but it did. So I'm going to try taking off my case. Maybe that will help. I think part of it is the case. Anyways, yeah, so here we are. And Nelly is preparing the coconut coir, and basically we have to soak this material in water so that it begins to fluff up. And then we're going to add our vermiculite. But yeah, I was talking about leaf mold. I think this is actually from the wood chips, right, Nelly?
Yes.
So this stuff is probably even better. What we have here is decomposed aged wood chips. We use this material to start all of our microbe solutions, and it is amazing, amazing stuff. Contains all kinds of wonderful biology, super, super rich in nutrients, and we're going to use it in our mixture right here. I'm really excited to begin incorporating and using this stuff more, and I hope that we're going to eventually get to a point once again where we're only going to be using stuff that we produce on site to start our seeds. Only using leaf mold, only using wood chip mold, because, you know, that's as sustainable as we can get when it comes to our transplants. Soil blocker plus that. But yeah, when it comes to the soil blocker, you know, people have said, yeah, if you bottom water them, they can fall apart. The soil blocks can fall apart. So we're probably going to need to tweak our formula a bit. This is more of like a trial run. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we won't do the onions just yet because I really want to grow onions. Or no, we'll just do the onions because I really want to grow the other stuff. And we need to be starting our onions the earliest out of everything, honestly. So we might just do one tray with onions right now, and then we'll see how everything else does. But yeah, I'd say let's sub out some of the... I'd say let's go lighter on the vermiculite, since we need these to be bonded together better. Let me see.
Yeah, it's like very hard. Let me see.
Yeah, so you want to try and do it this way, because this is where you see, like, that way, because that's where it's pressed together. You see that?
Yeah.
And so then we could, like, break off chunks of it.
Got it.
And once we break off enough, then we can soak it. Yeah, this stuff is pretty dry.
Yeah.
It got pretty dry in the seat, so it might take some time to soak.
Okay. It's mainly that side. That's
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah, the cool thing about this stuff is that it expands several times when you wet it, so you don't really need that much. Not as much as you think. And it's pretty cheap too, like one of these blocks is 20 bucks. But I'm still in favor of, you know, eventually using all of our own stuff, and in fact I'm going to want to start another leaf mold pile to accommodate all of our seed storage. But we can use this stuff. It's pretty sustainable. Alright, let's see how much that makes.
Okay.
So let's start soaking that. I don't want to add the leaf mold yet. Yeah, just bring the hose over and start soaking it. What happened to the other hose? Oh, it's over there, I think. Sean must have used it over there. But yeah, so we've been using coconut coir for a while. And yeah, any questions, feel free to ask, or you can use the Ask a Master Gardener feature on our website. Looks like my phone is behaving better now, so that's good. Yeah, just run the hot water out of it. Yeah, we don't want to use hot water. Oh, check this out. Oh, that's awesome. Centipede.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you know your soil is good when you have centipedes. Oh, come on, little guy. Yeah, when you have soil centipedes like that, you know you have good soil. You want to see all that life crawling around in your soil. It's good. You know, creepy crawlies aren't bad unless you can observe them doing damage. And even then, it's not bad. Like, you know, you're doing something wrong if there's something eating your plants. Not the bugs. You haven't provided the right conditions for your crops. Or maybe there's something going on in the environment, like this heat wave, for example. The ants have gotten, and the aphids have gotten really bad in this heat wave. But that's because of the heat wave, mainly. So, yeah, I'd say just like fill it up until we have like a layer of water. And we just keep breaking it up. We want to expose more of the surface area to the moisture. I should probably be wearing a mask while doing this. You don't want to be breathing this stuff in. It's never good to breathe in like any kind of dust particles. So I'm gonna put my mask on. I've breathed in too much wood chip dust lately. It's no good. Oh, this stuff is moistening up real fast. That's good. Yeah, I think we'll add a little bit more water, then we'll break it up. Yeah, and this is how you make your own seed starting mixes, folks. It's real easy. I think that's good. So, we're going to give it a minute. So we'll start with the onions and we'll see if we have room for everything else. And yeah, this is just a trial run, but I've found that the coconut core holds together pretty well.
It does.
I'm just worried, like, you know, since we're using these trays that don't have like individual cells, and it's the soil blocks themselves that are holding themselves together, we might have some issues with them falling apart. But we shall see. Because, you know, the thing is, once we're able to get like roots in there, once the seedlings start rooting, the roots will hold them together. And yeah, and that's the other thing I mentioned. I think I should go a bit more into what air pruning is and why that's beneficial. So I'm sure you guys have seen these pots before, these fabric pots. The fabric pots are great because they allow for what is called air pruning. And air pruning is when you have like a medium that's permeable to the atmosphere. It inhibits roots from continuing to grow and then stimulates the growth of more roots. And so what you get when you have an air pruning effect is the roots will sort of like grow to the side of the pot, then they will stop growing, and then the plant will send out more roots. And eventually what will happen is the roots of the plant will fill the entire pot, and you have a very, very, very strong root system. Normally what happens, if you're using an impermeable pot such as this, the roots will grow out, they'll keep growing, and they'll start circling around the bottom. This is called getting root bound. So air pruning prevents plants from getting root bound and encourages them to develop stronger root systems. And this is the benefits of the soil blocks. Since we're making these blocks that are open to the atmosphere with this press, we get an air pruning effect. And the root systems of the seedlings fill the entire soil block. And this means we have strong seedlings and no transplant shock at all, which is super beneficial. So we're going to be able to, we've had issues with transplant shock in the past, going from hydro into soil. So this should eliminate the transplant shock issue or significantly reduce it. So yeah, let's get this in. This is our leaf mold. Actually, let's get our vermiculite in first. We'll do the vermiculite. We had perlite too, but I'm not sure what happened to it. I'm gonna probably need to get more. But the vermiculite is probably gonna be better for this application. Okay, let's mix that in. We'll see what consistency we get. Yeah, and vermiculite is for drainage and to help improve the structure. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna be enough.
Do you need more water?
I don't know.
It's pretty dry.
I think we might need a little bit more water after we add the leaf. So
Okay.
maybe add the water now and then just a hair.
Alright.
Because you're supposed to be able to like squeeze the water out of it. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Because once we add the leaf mold, it's going to suck up a little bit more moisture. But yeah, we want to mix this around really good. We want it to be nice and homogeneous. Everything mixed evenly. And yes, we are having the lives every week once again. Check our Instagram for the schedule. Yeah, this is a good amount of for Mickey Light. Yeah. We need to keep this. Yeah, I do want to go less heavy on the vermiculite. Yeah, I'm thinking since the cocoa core is so fibrous, it'll help keep it together. Okay. Yeah, this is a lot that we made. You can see how much the coconut core expands. Yeah, and this is a good consistency. So when we add this, we might need more water. Alright. Giving me really good. And this is going to be a lot of our good biology. Leaf mold is made from leaves, wood chip is made from wood chips. And it's basically just compost, cold compost. You just let the material sit, keep it moist, it breaks down into this wonderful, wonderful, active, biologically rich material. And nutrient-rich material. It takes forever, but it's worth it. Leaf mold takes a year to make, and wood chip mold can take 2 to 3 years. But oh my gosh, is it worth it? I'd say leaf mold is probably easier to work with and better to work with for seedlings.
You think so?
Yeah, because the fungal to bacterial ratio will be a little bit lower. You don't want the fungal to bacterial ratio to be too high for vegetables. But leaf mold should be pretty good for that fungal to bacterial ratio. And then we're getting into soil biology. If you want to learn about soil biology, look out for the Healthy Growers training signups. They're coming soon. As soon as we get our new interns and all their schedules, I'm going to nail down some dates of when that's happening. And that is a comprehensive training that covers organic gardening, regenerative soil. There we go. Okay. Yeah, apologies. I'm not sure why it keeps overheating in the shade. Anyways, yeah, so the final ingredient is mycorrhizae. And so these are, we don't have to add these, but they're plant-dependent symbiotic fungi. The spores of them, and we're going to toss in a little bit. And mix it in real well, and that will give the plants some biological associations right off the bat. There we are. Why don't you start mixing that in? Then we can start using the soil blocker. I need to figure out how to stop this phone from overheating. Unfortunately, the air temperature is probably already like 95 degrees. So
yeah, I think that might be the problem.
Yeah, this heat wave has been absolutely brutal. I've been working outside every day during the week during this heat wave, and it has not been fun. The heat exhaustion is real, y'all.
Stay hydrated.
Yep. So we're going to get ready to do the soil blocks then. So when you're done with that, Anelli, why don't you move it up here to the bench. And we'll try and get a good camera angle here. Yeah, so again, 4 easy steps to making soil blocks. And this blocker costs like $50 or something. Yeah, see? Reducing plastic. That's the benefit. I mean, they say it is the benefit, and it's partially just marketing, but they're right in this case, so that's good. So yeah, wet your mix hours prior. We didn't do that, but that's okay. You want a soft putty consistency. When you squeeze the mixture, moisture should seep out between your fingers. Is that homogeneous? Did you overturn it underneath?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, so let's see. Can we do that? Can we squeeze moisture out when we... Oh wait, this is the thing. Hold on. I took the paper, not the phone. Let's see. Here we go. All right, let's see. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. All right. Okay. Then press the soil blocker to fill the block chamber. All right. So, And it also comes with this little cute one if you want to do like a bunch of greens.
Oh.
I would do that one for like a, if I were doing like a, I don't know what I'd do. Put lettuce. That's a good one for lettuce. Yeah, so I think since we don't really have much of a bottom here, given how deep it is, let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. This is very easy to use. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, let's see. How's that? Oh, wow. Look at that! Whoa. That's so cool. Kind of saw it. Sorry, the camera angle's kind of off. Look at that, though. That's awesome. I love it. I'm a fan now. I'm sold. As long as you stay together and we get good seedlings, I am absolutely sold on this.
Yeah,
how cool is that? So we'll do another one. And it's like, I might want to get one of these for my garden if this can be successful. Yeah, big fan so far. I mean, I only did one, but you know, I tend to get overexcited about those. Now, because now it's falling out. I think the mixture might be a bit too wet in some spots. But that's okay. You know, this is all trial and error. That's the point of this all. Yeah, this is good. Just don't want to waste this stuff. All right, let's see. Nice. Beautiful. That looks good. Okay. Maybe right here, because I don't want to waste it. Yep, that's perfect. There we go. Thanks, Anelli, for manning the camera. Look at that. Gorgeous soil blocks. Now I'm curious, how well do these stay together? I've seen market gardeners ranting and raving about soil blockers, and I'm just like, I have to try it. Okay. Let's see. I'm curious. How well do these stay together? Well, you can hold them in your hand. They start crumbling apart a little bit, but they're pretty sturdy. And so, like, yeah, when roots start to develop, the roots should bind them together, and you should be able to hold them. And the kit also came with these really nice tongs that you can use to pick up the soil blocks, which is cool. Yeah, we do that. I think that's probably good. I don't want to try and squeeze another row in there.
Oh yeah, you go too tight.
If this works, I need to tell Mabel at Sustainability about this. I'm not sure if she's tried one of these.
Oh yeah, spread the word.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, reduce your plastic, grow healthier seedlings. If these are able to do all that, then I'm sold. It looks like we'll be able to do 40 per tray,
Nice.
which is pretty good.
Yeah.
We definitely have enough to do 2 trays, so I think let's do 2 trays. This is very easy to use. I'm a fan. Maybe we can try the tinier one for onion and parsley seeds.
Okay.
Although I think that's pretty tiny. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
They're a bit tinier than I'd like. We'll use the tiny one at some point. Okay, let's see. But yeah, you can see what's making these little indentation are actually these inserts right here. It's not built in, and you can swap them out for ones of different sizes, and then you just deposit the seed in there, and that's it. And to clean it off should be pretty easy. You like literally just hose it off. So we'll see how these seeds do, but so far I have high hopes. And see, I feel like going twice and then like using that twisting motion is good to like get nice compressed soil blocks.
Yeah.
That will hold their shape pretty well. Nice. Yeah, they do seem to hold their shape pretty well. As long as you don't like crumble them. And like I can scoot them to the side, I can do whatever I need to do. So yeah, then we'll do one more for this tray and then we'll do one other tray.
Okay, I think we're
Yeah, set it on. Are we back?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, we're back.
Okay.
Well, we did all of our soil blocks. So let's plant our onions then. And we can do way more. So I think we should do a bunch. And I did use the tongs to move them around, and it did deform them a little bit, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. I'm more interested in, you know, as long as they end up holding their shape and make strong seedlings, then we're good. Okay. I think there's a good chance of that. So onions, I should probably wipe off. I wish I had a rag, but I do not. No water is needed for the first 2 or 3 days, but after that use a fine spray from the hose or a hand pump mister. Okay? Since these are onions, I'm going to do a couple seeds in a bowl. It says do one, but with onions it's given the germination rate sometimes it's going to do. I always like to do a couple, honestly. And we could probably just like leave these in a shady location until Friday if that's what they recommend. I mean, I don't know though, with this heat, like, oh look, a little millipede crawling on top of there. You know, that's the point, like, you know, with these soil blocks is like, you know, you still have a good environment for your soil organisms too. It's not just like, you know, a bunch of plastic, I suppose. But, because if we can do this with 100% leaf mold, then we'd really be in business. Because I think leaf mold makes good seedlings. I've seen people germinate. There's this one guy in Texas who germinates his seedlings in 100% leached compost, and he does soil blocks, and it works really well for him. It's like he has some of the healthiest seedlings ever. So I eventually want to figure out how to do an 100% compost mixture. I think leaf mold is going to be the way, since it's not going to be too rich in nutrients like hot compost. Or at least too rich in nitrogen, I should say, because if there's too much nitrogen, then you can have problems with seeds. I'm afraid these are going to dry out, though, with this heat. So we definitely need to put it in full shade. There's bugs crawling all over the place. That's what I love to see. I definitely think we should, like, mist it before we put it in the shade. Just lightly, more to like moisten the seeds than anything. But yeah, the weather is going to cool off soon. We're going to get some rain. We'll definitely want to put them in the shelter for some rain, because I feel like rain would destroy these.
Oh yeah.
We have some covers we could use. Anyways, there you go. Soil blocks. Do you have a sprayer? I saw one around here. Yeah, there's our onions. I'm gonna start making some more. I'm gonna try and scoot this back a bit, get a better camera angle for y'all. But yeah, we'll see how that air pruning effect works with seedlings. I know it works really well with plants growing in containers, so we'll see. Let's make some more, shall we? Yeah, just if you have one that's not labeled, just rinse it out real good and fill it up with water. I know back in the day when we used to use pesticides here. Say no to pesticides, folks. Get some more going. Yeah, it's definitely seed starting time despite this heat, you know, at least when it comes to the time of year, the dates. We are expecting some cooler weather next week, which is why I'm saying, okay, yeah, it's safe to start. You know, I don't think it's going to dry out that bad in one day if we keep them in full shade. I'm more concerned about the thunderstorms that are coming this weekend. So we're going to need to make sure that these seed blocks are covered during the thunderstorm. Because we don't want them to wash away, because that's what I'm concerned about. I feel like that's going to be one of the drawbacks of these, is they could literally wash away, whereas if you had plug trays, then they won't. But, you know, my experience with plug trays has been, you know, yeah, you can get good seedlings out of them, but I want stronger seedlings than that. And like air pruning, it works. And also, no transplant shock would be nice. And that's one of the purported benefits here. Because you just basically drop the seed, since you don't get root-bound plants, right? You don't have to tease out the roots. They don't have to like adjust as much. You just plop the seed blocks, in. Or soil blocks, sorry. I like simplicity, you know, like, for as much as I like complexity and elaborate things in the garden, like when it comes to like design and whatnot, I also like simplicity. You know, have the complicated parts be in like how you design your garden. Well, see, yeah, kind of a fail there. But yeah, we could just. And yeah, filling up plug trays is a bit faster, definitely. But, I mean, if you think about it,
Yeah.
it's not that far off because these make the holes for you.
True. Because you do have to take the time to, you know, make the holes.
But
on
the fastest thing ever is what's called paper pots. Paper pots are so fast.
paper. Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen those?
I don't think.
It's like
Maybe I have.
it's sort of like an interlaced. Is it going?
Yeah, it's live.
Okay.
Or back.
Yeah, we don't have a big enough garden to do paper pots here, but paper pots are cool.
Okay. All right.
But it's paper waste in that case. But paper pots are so fast because basically, with paper pots, you know, you have. I'm talking about now. Now that we're back, I'm just to update you guys. I'm talking about another type of seeding system called paper pots. And so if you can imagine sort of like an interlaced mesh of like paper, and it's like paper that's like this thick, right?
Okay.
This thick, and you fill that up with your soil mix, and then they're strung together in such a way that you can use a special machine to like unzip them and transplant them all in one go to get a clean row. It's like crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah, paper pots are like super efficient, but of course, you're wasting pulp. You're paying for the paper, for the paper pots. You know, that's input. You know,
Yeah.
this once you have a soil blocker, you don't need to have inputs. Except your mix, which again, you know, we're going to try and eventually make ourselves. So yeah, that's 40 per tray. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We could do way more than that with the other one. I don't want this stuff to go to waste, so I think we should do more. 8. Not seeing any worms in here. Maybe it's too hot for the worms. Okay. That one got a bit messed up, but it's okay. And they do compress if you're not careful. Maybe I should try packing in more soil. And getting, like, I've been doing 2 passes with it, but maybe I should do 3. Yeah, there we go. Can you get the popsicle sticks and a Sharpie so we can start labeling these? But yeah. What time is it? I'm gonna check. It's 10:27. We're at the end of our live. So we're going to go ahead and label these like we usually do. And we're going to close out now because of all these issues I've been having with the phone overheating. So hopefully it's better next week. It's supposed to be a lot cooler. We're looking at weather in the 80s. Really looking forward to that, that's for sure. But we're going to close it out now. So thank you for joining us today. And I want to say bye, Nelly.
Bye. Stay cool.
Yep, stay cool.
Hydrated.
Stay hydrated. Stay safe.
Yes.
See you all later. Have a good one.